we will read from Srimad Bhagavatam. This is a book, transcendental book, very famous, Puranam Amalam. Ja ne govori po-ruski. Ja ne govori po-ruski. This is the glory of the multicultural society with all kinds of languages, so we need all kinds of translations. And English is always the standard, so therefore we on Sundays sometimes speak in English. So before we read Srimad Bhagavatam, we will repeat this, all of us. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. I will say first and you will repeat after. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Thank you. So we'll read this verse, 6, 12. That's it. Sankirtam, if you can also try to repeat. This is all our books written originally in Sanskrit language, which is the standard language for all the ancient scriptures, literature of spirituality and philosophy. And so we are reading, but we also we have a transliteration of English in various other languages. And then we will read this first in Sanskrit, repeat, and then we'll read the translation. Sanketam parihasyam va. Sanketam parihasyam va. Sanketam parihasyam va. Sanketam parihasyam va. Stobam helanam eva va. Stobam helanam eva va. Stobam helanam eva va. Vaikuntanama grahanam. Vaikuntanama grahanam. Vaikuntanama grahanam. Asheshagaharam vidu. Asheshagaharam vidu. Asheshagaharam vidu. Asheshagaharam vidu. One more time. Sanketam parihasyam va. Sanketam parihasyam va. Stobam helanam eva va. Stobam helanam eva va. Vaikuntanama grahanam. Vaikuntanama grahanam. Asheshagaharam vidu. Asheshagaharam vidu. So now translation. One who chants the holy name of the Lord is immediately freed from the reactions of unlimited sins, even if he chants indirectly or to indicate something else, jokingly, for musical instrument, entertainment, or even neglectfully. This is accepted by all the learned scholars of the scriptures. So this is the verse from Srimad Bhagavatam glorifying the Hare Krishna, what we are chanting, the Hare Krishna mantra. And we are known all over the world as the Hare Krishnas. And the reason why we are known as the Hare Krishnas, because this is our main process for spiritual elevation. It's the Hare Krishna chanting of the Hare Krishna mantra. And I will speak about this a little bit, but I chose this verse just to show how potent this mantra is. Even if one who chants get immediately freed from the reactions of unlimited sins. First of all, we have to understand that this world is made of karma. Some people do not know what karma is, or they think it's... But karma is actually, in Sanskrit, this is a Sanskrit word, which means activity. So whatever we do, whatever actions we do, there's a reaction to it. And this is a very, very simplified process what karma means. You know, sometimes this is a bad, don't do this is a bad karma. You know, even nowadays people speak that. It's a bad karma, I don't want to do this. You know, or somebody did something with somebody, and then later on he gets reactions to it, and someone says, you got a karma for this. This is, everybody knows this nowadays. So this is the point. Whatever we do, every action has a reaction. Whatever we do. So whatever we do in this life, we carry this to next life, and this is called reincarnation. So this is in 1 minute karma and reincarnation explained. There's no mystery there. When we carry, we don't immediately get reactions immediately in the next life. Our books, read the various books, especially Nectar of Devotion, Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, describes this our reactions are carrying us to the next life, but they may not fructify, or they may not be manifested immediately in the beginning of the life, or maybe throughout the whole life. You know, sometimes when even in this world here, somebody commits a crime and somebody is arrested fresh, but somebody is not arrested fresh. Maybe after 30 years, they find another evidence and they put him to jail. 30 years, somebody is waiting. So this is exactly what's going on. In the next life, there's this seed of potential reaction from our previous bad activity or sinful activity stays in our heart, and then suddenly it can manifest, or it can manifest in the life number 7, not necessarily this one. So therefore we may be living our lives very nicely, very pious, very friendly, good person, and then suddenly something bad happens to us, and then the people ask this famous question, why the bad things happen to good people? People don't know the answer. It's a God's fault. Usually this is the answer of the atheist. It's a God's fault. There's no other. He's a very good person. Why is this happening to him? It's God's fault. There's no justice. But actually there is very much justice. It's called universal justice. But this justice stretches to various lifetimes, not only one life. Otherwise there is no reasonable explanation why are we born in so much varieties. You know, someone is born in this country, someone is born very poor, someone is born very rich. What did this person deserve to be born in such a rich family? Why? It's an injustice. You know, therefore people try to correct this injustice with various philosophies, particularly the, you know, whatever 100 years ago, the socialist philosophy. We want to be ever the equal. But it's at the end, it proved that it's not possible to be everybody equal, because we have different karmas. So these karmas, these actions and reactions are carrying us. And we are, as much as we are paying the, as we call it, debt from the previous lives, we are also making new karmas. So this is so intertwined and connected. Like for example, if I strike a dog in this life with a stick, I do a terrible example. I struck it. I struck a dog with a stick. So the next life, this dog has to strike me somehow or other. But imagine how complicated it is. We interact with thousands and thousands of people, with thousands of animals, insects. We are stepping on insects every day, willingly or unwillingly. When we drive on our windshield, hundreds of insects we kill. We actually kill these people, you can say. So we have to somehow get reactions from all these insects. In our next lives, we have to somehow get back punishment from these insects. These insects have to somehow punish us, kill us over them. So imagine how complicated it is, how difficult it is. So therefore, the material world is described as a banyan tree. Anybody seen? Oh, sure. Oh. Thank you. This is actually the tradition. Anybody knows? In India, in Hawaii also. Anybody been to Hawaii? I actually been to Hawaii. You know, Jaya. Thank you. Thank you. As soon as you come out of the airport, of the plane actually, through the airport, immediately the garlands are there. It's a nice culture, and very nice garlands, like amazing flowers, never seen before. Anyways, so we carry all these actions and reactions from various lifetimes. And how do you actually improve? People try to, again, philosophies through to be a good person, to whatever way we try to somehow do it. But this is all imperfect as we see in this world. There's never really full justice in this world. But in spiritual life, the way to actually clear all these things, it's called chanting of the holy name of the Lord. And therefore we have this verse, one who chants the holy name immediately is freed from the reactions of unlimited sins. Unlimited, not just from last life or 10 lives or who knows how many lives we have lived, but unlimited sins. It's pretty good. And then, even better now, we have a better news. Even if person chants indirectly to indicate something else. So I just, as a matter of, how they joke, or how would they say it? I went to Google and I punched Krishna auto. Auto. And I got Krishna Auto Electric, Ahmedabad, Gujarat. BMW, Krishna Automobiles, Chandigarh, Ludhiana. Krishna Auto Skoda, and Krishna Volvo. So this is I just thought, let me try Krishna Auto, So they said so imagine these people who work there, where do you work? I work in Krishna Volvo. Oh, so every day, these people, as it says here, even if he chants indirectly to indicate something else, these people get benefit of the Hare Krishna. If you work at Krishna Volvo, we were in Gujarat also last year, and there was a Radha juice shop. So we always drink juice in the Radha juice. And Rama, in Germany we have a Rama margarine. What else? No, but Rama margarine is Rama margarine. So whenever somebody works in the Rama company, where do you work? I'm working in Rama. So they chant that. You work in Rama? No. So every time we buy Rama, we put Rama, and Rama sits there on a shelf in the fridge, and then we read Rama, all Rama.
It's the most popular mantra in Germany.
It's the most popular one. I actually remember Prabhu said when he was even young, this was in the 50s, there was Rama, was already then most popular, and this was his favorite brand, Rama. So even chanting indirectly indicating something else. Jokingly. Sometimes people joke, Hare Krishnas, or imitating Hare Krishnas. There was some group of young guys in Hawaii, since we are talking about Hawaii. They thought there was a Halloween. Halloween, in America, also now in Germany, but not as much as in America. It's everybody dressed in different costumes that evening, and they go out in different costumes as a pirate or as a vampire or this is costume day. So this group of young people, they thought, let's do something really outrageous. Let's dress as Hare Krishnas. So they bought some bed sheets and they dyed them into orange, and they put this socks, the women's socks is like brown, as a glatze, no hair. And they went out with tambourines and standing on the stage, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. imitating, joking with Hare Krishna. And what is most funny, the one who was the leader of this, he became Hare Krishna. So even if jokingly, it's a benefit. Sometimes people laugh at us, when we go and hurry them out to sing, some guys usually, they come and dance like this. And everybody's laughing and making pictures of it. So, even if someone for musical entertainment, we present ourselves in public, we sing in public, or we have some concerts, And people don't know exactly what it is, but it sounds good. And this is also benefit. Or even neglectfully. Somebody just, matter of fact, say Hare Krishna, what is this Hare Krishna? They don't even know what it is. You know, even neglectfully. And because the Maha Mantra, the Hare Krishna mantra, is the best process of spiritual realization for this age. In the other ages, as we learned in our Bhakti program, we have all kinds of different meditation. It's in the Satya Yuga, it's a meditation, when people could meditate for thousands and thousands of years. Imagine, Valmiki Muni, before writing Ramayana, was meditating, anybody knows? 60,000 years. I mean, this is a long time. I don't think I can do 6 minutes, I don't know, maybe. Who can do 6 days of meditation, just meditating, make nothing else? And he did 60,000 years, and then he had the revelations of all Ramayana. He actually wrote Ramayana. So this is the other ages where people are more able. This is millions of years ago, according to our scriptures. Then they had this elaborate yagyas, homas. We see Prithu Maharaj, the gold, so much ghee. This was nowadays is also the priests are so qualified. Brahmanas, nowadays not possible. And then we have this elaborate deity worship, also not possible nowadays. In our temples we have nice, but we have a plastic or whatever. Then there was a gold, as I was reading recently. Then the Mathura, like few hundred years ago, there was somebody was visiting, some British was visiting Mathura, and he said there was a deity of Balaram, 20 meters tall, made of pure gold. This is, something. We have a Gornitai made of pure gold, 20 meters tall. And imagine the elaborate worship they have. Nowadays, we don't have this capacity. But we can chant Hare Krishna mantra. Everybody can chant Hare Krishna mantra. But this, we learned today in the Bhakti program, you have to move your upper lip, lower lip, and your tongue. So you have to just chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. This is very simple. So, in this light, we're going further. It says that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, one day he came to Namacharya. Namacharya is the devotee, a person who is, he's representing the best chanter of the Hare Krishna mantra, you can say. He is like a teacher, the universal teacher of chanting the Hare Krishna mantra. Haridas Thakur. He was chanting 300,000 names of Krishna. We chant, how many names do we chant? 1,600 something? 1,728 names a day, minimum, which we call 16 rounds. And this takes around 2 hours. Every Hare Krishna devotee who is serious, who is initiated, chants 16 rounds a day. So 2 hours we chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Then again, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Mantra means this. We repeat these words. And all this, in these 16 words, Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, the three mantras. Actually, there's 16 in order of 16 is. Contain all the spiritual powers necessary to actually achieve spiritual perfection in this age where we live right now. So one day, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came to this Haridas Thakur, this universal teacher, and he asked him, Hare Krishna mantra is very powerful and it delivers people from all these, previous karmas and sinful reactions. So how can these people who are actually not involved with the Vedic culture, because in Vedic culture, as I read here, we have a Krishna Volvo and Krishna Skoda, whatever, this is Indian, and in so many, my favorite story was called Automatic Ganesh. My favorite stories was Automatic Ganesh. We have a Radha juice or whatever, they all this. So these people are just to show these people already involved in India, very involved with Vedic culture. So, meaning this already somehow involved with the spirituality, spiritual life. So how can the people who are not, for example, people who Lord Chaitanya said, those who are actually killing cows, who eating meat of the cows. Because in Vedic culture, eating meat of the cow is considered very, very bad. Even if you eat a goat, it's not as bad as eating a cow. Meat eating is unacceptable, but eating the lower animals is still, not as bad as eating a cow, because cow is the very, very sacred animal, and killing a cow is no excuse. There's a very bad, reactions in the Shastra. This is described. When somebody kills a cow, how many lives that person has to suffer? As many lives as there's a hair on the cow. Imagine. There's many, many lives. So this is not good. So Lord Chaitanya said, okay, how can even these people be delivered, although they're not religious? Lord Chaitanya said, to my great unhappiness, I do not see any way. How can they be delivered? They're not interested. Chaitanya said, ask Haridas. How to deliver those who are eating even cows. And Haridas Thakur, do not worry, said, do not worry. Because, for example, at that time in India, there was a Muslim invaders, you can say they were there. And these Muslim invaders, they were eating cows. So he said, even they can be delivered because they inadvertently, or you can say unconsciously, chant the name of Ram. And how is this? They said, Haram, Haram. Anybody speak Persian? You speak. What is Haram? What's that? Sünde. Or yeah. So Haram, terrible. That's something very terrible. And they said when they, so he said, because Ha and Ram, there's a Ram, name of the Ram, so Krishna will accept this part of Ram. Blessing. So it's amazing. It's just Krishna accepts, even if it's part of the word, not even the whole word, if it's part of the word. Amazing. This is amazing. So, and this is called, today we didn't speak about this in Bhakti program, but this is called Namabhasa. And Namabhasa means clearing stage. Even if someone is not chanting properly Hare Krishna mantra. Because as we were speaking today how when we chant Hare Krishna mantra, our mind is taking us all over the universe. What did we do yesterday? What did I supposed to do? Who told me what? Why am I supposed to say to somebody else something? And even if inattentive chanting is actually creating good results. So when people come here, they hear the Hare Krishna mantra, or we chant Hare Krishna mantra, too schnell, huh? Okay, sorry. Meditation, okay. So even if I speak too loud, too schnell is what? Too fast. We will get benefited. Not because of me, but because of the power of the Holy Name. So, and then Haridas Thakur will give example of a great story from the Srimad Bhagavatam, which this is the verse we read from this story, is a history of Ajamila. Ajamila is the one person who lived many, many years ago, and he was born in a very, very pious family. Very Brahminical pious family. And one day this young, very innocent young boy was going through the forest to go from A to B, and on the way he saw not so pious people engaging in amorous affairs. Amorous affairs means illicit connection between man and woman. And they were also intoxicated, drunk. So he saw this, young boy saw it, and somehow or other he became attracted to it. It's the nature of the world, you know. Nowadays it's much more difficult because we have advertisements everywhere, we have internet. It's impossible to be living in some bubble of purity. It's just impossible. For young people particularly. So at that time, so he, you can say, fell from the path of purity, and he was actually very interested to meet this woman, and somehow he met her, and they became involved, and they started living together. And Ajamila became the most, sinful person. He was stealing to get money and doing all kinds of things, just to somehow satisfy his, desires to enjoy sense gratification with this woman. And he had many children with her. And one of the youngest child he had, his name was Narayan. This is also the name of Krishna, Narayan. And he was completely not interested in any practicing of any spirituality whatsoever, but he was very attached to this Narayan. He was already 70 years old, very old. Nowadays also there are some actors who are old, they have children with 80 or 90. I think this famous painter Picasso, he had a child with 70 something. Imagine, 70 years old, you have a child. 80, I think. But anyways, so he had a child that's very, very old. He was also over 70 years old. And he was very attached to this child called Narayan. And he would chant, not chant, but he was calling, Narayan, where are you? Narayan, where are you? Narayan, where are you? And then the time for his death had come. And he was dying, and he said, oh, where is my Narayan? Narayan, 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 Narayan. And in the Bhagavad Gita, it is described that yam yam vapi smaram bhavam tyajanti antikalevaram tam tam avaiti kontya sathada bhava bhavita. This is Sanskrit. It says that whatever state of mind one has at the time of death, whatever you utter in your last, this state you will achieve in your next life. And he was chanting this Narayan, 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 not thinking of Krishna, but thinking of his son. And what happened? The residents of Vaikuntha, of spiritual world, came to pick him up, to bring him to the spiritual world, to be liberated. And meanwhile, the people who are like, you can say, police in this universe, Vishnu, Yamadutas, they came also to pick him up, to bring him to, that he can repay what he has done in his life, sinful activities. So then the two of them collided. Said, hold on a minute, what are you doing here? He was not, he was not pious. What are you supposed to? You come only for the pious people. And they said, yes, it is true, but he uttered the name of Narayan at the time of his death. So there was the whole discussion about this, that the power of the name of Krishna has so much potency, even if it uttered again with negligence or even improperly, and so on and so forth. And another thing is this: he chanted the name of Narayan without any offenses. We learned today also the 10 offenses to chanting. So the reason is because he had love for Narayan, so he was with all love he chanted Narayan. So then in the end they had to let him go. Vishnudutas let him go. Sorry, Yamadutas let him go. So the Vishnudutas gave him instruction: you're not ready to return to the spiritual world, but you can go back to Haridwar and do some tapasya there for some time, and then you can come with us. So the point here is that this great history is that the chanting of Hare Krishna is very, very powerful. So we should try to do it as much as possible. And this is not difficult, and it doesn't cost anything. So we just have to again move our lips and say Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare. Very simple. And we can just repeat this as much as possible. And the more we repeat it, the more we'll get realizations. And the more also we'll become pure. And the more we are pure, the more realizations we have, the more we want to chant. So the means and the method is the same thing, as we spoke today again. As they ask Srila Prabhupada, our Acharya, our teacher, what is the goal of all of your chanting? You just chant, 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 chant. What do you want to achieve with this chanting? And his answer was, more chanting. Because the method and the end goal is the same. The more we chant, the more we realize the potency of the Hare Krishna mantra. The more we realize that the Krishna's name and Krishna himself are not different. The more we realize that the holy name Hare Krishna mantra is actually not different from the spiritual world. So therefore we'll want to chant more, because this is chanting contains everything. Chanting is also tapasya or austerities, and chanting is also meditation. I mean, if you repeat constantly one mantra, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, and repeatedly 4 hours or 6 hours, it's also meditation. Imagine you meditate 6 hours. And it is said that when we associate with the spiritual world, with Krishna and his spiritual attributes, then we also become somehow spiritualized. Because the example is, as we put the cold rod, metal rod, into the hot fire, the rod also becomes fire. So the more we chant, the more we'll have realizations. So why not chanting? Again, we can chant. There's no hard rules. There's no any rules really in chanting. We're speaking today. We can chant anywhere. Of course, I was joking. I said we can also sit in jacuzzi and chant. It's not advisable. In jacuzzi. Yeah. No rules. Of course, we should chant in the morning. The best is to wake up in the morning early. The Hare Krishna movement, those who live in the temples, we wake up at 4 o'clock, except Bhakti, he wakes up at 2. But wake up at 4 o'clock in the morning. And I say this is with great respect. And then we chant Hare Krishna mantra. First we take showers, and then we take the clean cloth, and we put ourselves in this mode of goodness, sattva guna. And by chanting the Hare Krishna mantra, we purify further our existence. And we chant 2 hours in the morning. So by 7 o'clock, we have done Mangalartik, we have done chanting, we feel like spiritually surcharged, super surcharged. So this is the best way to actually do it. Because in the morning there's nothing else to do. You leave your handys in the room, you don't come with the handy in the temple room, you don't need. What important message you will receive at 5 o'clock in the morning? There's no such a message. Leave everything behind and just chant Hare Krishna. And by doing this, we'll get spiritual realization. We'll see, wow, this actually works. This is very good. As this introduction to our book called Krishna Book, Prabhupada asked George Harrison to write an introduction. So he wrote an introduction to Krishna Book. George Harrison, for those younger, is a member of Beatles, and the younger generation, they don't know who Beatles are. I asked I had one program, I asked young people, John Lennon, never heard. Anyways, for those older, maybe George Harrison was a member of the Beatles, very, very famous musician at that time. So he wrote an introduction to Krishna Book, and he said, chant Hare Krishna, and you will see the results yourself. The proof of the pudding is in eating. So you cannot see, is the pudding, this is the British expression from England. You cannot, this pudding is very good by looking at it. You actually have to eat the pudding to understand how tasty it is. So the Hare Krishna mantra, we can try ourselves to chant 10 times or 20 times if you don't have beads. But if you have beads, we can chant 1 round, which is 7, 8, 10 minutes. 2 rounds, 3 rounds, 4 rounds. Those who are initiated in the Hare Krishna movement, who want to be initiated, they will have to chant 16 such rounds. This takes, again, around 2 hours. So 2 hours at least a day for our spiritual being is very good deal. And needless to say, that furthermore, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu asked Haridas Thakur, okay, this is good, the people can be benefited. So, furthermore, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu asked Haridas Thakur, okay, this is good for the people, for the humans. How about the non-moving entities? Because we know, according to our scriptures, non-moving entities also are souls. They're also souls. So meaning that my body and the body of a tree is just different bodies, but the soul is the same spiritual soul. Or animals. That's why we don't eat animals, or we don't cut trees, or we don't ruin the environment, because this is all other people. We don't want to harm other people. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu asked, how can they be delivered? They cannot chant. They don't have mouth to chant. Like us, but they don't have hands to chant Hare Krishna beads. So the answer is, the Chaitanya said, what will happen to the trees, to the plants, to the insects? So many insects. Not many nowadays. How will they be delivered from the bondage? So the answer is, the moving entities who have heard loud Sankirtan had already been delivered. But the non-moving entities, when they hear this chanting, there's an echo. Then when moving, like us chanting, the non-moving hear this, and there's an echo. And he said, actually, this is not an echo. This is the non-moving entities are chanting also Hare Krishna. And then he concludes, when the loud chanting of the Hare Krishna mantra is performed, all living entities, moving and non-moving, dance in ecstatic of devotional love. Haridas Thakur.
Dance where?
In ecstatic love. So when we go on Harinam to sing, and sometimes we think, oh, there's only 10 people here. There's so many trees, Trees are dancing in ecstatic love. We cannot see it, but they get the transcendental sound vibration. And then he gives the example, Haridas gives the example when Lord Chaitanya went to the forest called Jarikanda. And this is the famous story in the Chaitanya Charitamrita. When the Lord was chanting Hare Krishna, all the animals started dancing. Okay? Oh, yeah, okay. We have a picture that directly, live from Jarikanda. All the living entities start dancing together with Lord Chaitanya. And that's the animals which are originally finally inimical. Well, originally inimical to each other, like deer and tiger. They embraced each other and danced Hare Krishna. And we see also in our, I've seen some dogs. Dogs are chanting Hare Krishna, interesting enough. We just had a Harinam 2 years ago, I think, in Bulgaria, Sandansky. There was a dog, one devotee brought his dog. And this dog come every Harinam. And he's like, Harinam devotee. So when we chant, he says, just listen, no movement, he's just like us, we chant. So when we chant, he's moving a little bit, sometimes barking. Baka, Harinam, Harinam. So everybody can participate in the Hare Krishna movement, even the non-moving entities, what to speak of the moving entities. So therefore, as a conclusion, we should chant the Hare Krishna mantra, try to avoid the offenses. I will not speak about them, 10 in number. But we should try to actually positively engage ourselves by chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. And the more we chant, the more we love realization, what is chanting, what is the meaning of the chanting, and the more we will want to know about the chanting, to read about this, and to know more who is Krishna, and so on and so forth. And in the end, this chanting will bring us to the highest spiritual realization. And when we are at the final hour of our life, we are laying in our bed, wherever we may be, we can just chant Hare Krishna, and the success will be there. The Yamadutas will definitely not come. The Vishnudutas will come. So I was waiting. So Hare Krishna, thank you for your attention. If you would maybe somebody would have 1-2 questions.
I just had a thought about what you said in the beginning, that sometimes the reactions come very, very late, because you have to be in the position. The reaction will be the same like the ones you did to the other guy.
Yeah.
I think so.
It's very difficult.
Yeah.
Imagine the management.
Yeah.
How can you, there are people who want to be managers, how do you manage this? To make exactly this person to relate to so many other people and to relate to you in this particular, you can repay that. This is very difficult.
And when he gets his karma, nobody else should be affected badly.
Yes.
So he has to be somehow isolated. It's so unimaginable.
So whoever manages is very good. So this material energy, Durga, is very, very powerful. Okay, yeah, there's a microphone.
Hare Krishna, thank you for this wonderful lecture. The verse has a meaning for me that God reveals a little bit from his heart, because in this verse there was an awareness for me how God came secretly and blesses the people, blesses a whole Islamic nation which doesn't even know his real name, and blesses.
Yes.
He blesses people that come for joy, and then he goes, and with this awareness, it reveals his love for us, and that I will take in my meditation when I chant to remember it. Thank you.
Yes. Krishna this is the special mercy of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. To all of us, not just at that time there's Muslim invaders, but everybody in the whole world. We have a Hare Krishna movement all over the world, with chanting the mantra all over the world, and everybody gets benefited. Everybody gets benefited. Whether you know or know, whether this country or that country, we have, everybody has heard the Hare Krishna mantra. So it's amazing. But as you said, this is very what you said. He came secretly. Nobody even knew that he came. Because in the beginning, nobody could imagine there's this verse in the Chaitanya Charitamrita that said, Prithvite achyati nagara digrama sarvatra prachar haibe moranam. Any Bengalis here? Did I say it properly?
Everywhere in the world is
Yeah. Yes. Nagara digram. Everywhere. In village and town. Yes. Sarvatra prachar haibe moranam. That this preaching will spread in every town and village. So people could not understand, because they were only in Bengal and Bangladesh. And even when Prabhupada was there, just 50, 60 years ago, they could not understand. Even his godbrothers, how can this be all over the world? Every town and village. So this is like, as you said, secret. And now suddenly we are here in Köln. Or whatever, we had in Recklinghausen, we had a program in Recklinghausen. There's a Hare Krishna movement in Recklinghausen. Or Paderborn. Everywhere. We were just in East Germany, one small town, and Lord Shiva is sitting there. Yeah, Shiva is there. So Shiva is everybody, Krishna is everywhere. His representatives are everywhere. Slowly. Okay, no more questions? One more? Or should we? Hare Krishna. Okay, thank you very much for your attention. And we can chant one more time. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Hare Krishna Mantra ki jai. Madhupati Bhatat.